Well, good morning, friends. How are you guys doing? Seems like it's been such a long time since I have sat down and had a chat with you. Last week was uneventful, as I shared in my video on Wednesday. We just basically didn't do a single thing. I had a chiropractor appointment that week, and that was it. I stayed home, didn't do anything. So that's why I didn't film, because there was nothing going on. It was very, very hot. We had several nights of thunderstorms, nothing severe, thankfully. It has cooled down a bit, but it's still very humid outside. This week I do have a bit more going on, and so that's good because I was planning on filming and uploading this week. I hope you all had a wonderful 4th of July. I don't know what that dog's been barking about. Like I said, we were very low-key, chilled out, didn't do a whole lot. Travis did have some issues with his car, but thankfully Scott was home and he was able to fix it, and so that was good. Something simple. I think it was a belt or something that wore out. We didn't go to the fireworks or anything like that. We had thunderstorms in our area both Friday and Saturday, the 3rd and the 4th. And I think they still ended up having the fireworks, but they were delayed, and someone told me that the turnout wasn't as good as normal, which I guess is, to be expected when the weather's not great. But even if the weather had been good, we wouldn't have gone. I am not a fan of fireworks. I used to love them when I was younger, but there's just so many people, and the older I get, the least amount that I like or enjoy or want to be involved in crowds of people. And so just the whole matter of finding a place to park and dealing with all those crowds, I'm just not into it. Unfortunately, our neighbors, it seemed like all around us were shooting off fireworks Friday night and Saturday night, and I feel like I'm a very patriotic person, but I wish that people would just shoot off fireworks on the 4th of July and that day only, because they had been shooting them off every weekend for like the last 3 weeks, and my dogs get so anxious and so upset whenever there's loud booms like that. So by the 4th of July, after days and days of nightly shooting booms and loud noises and stuff going on, I was at my limit with it, honestly. Last night, which was Sunday night, the 5th, there was just a few booms in the distance I heard, and I'm like, my goodness, people still have fireworks. But I'm hoping that's the end of it. But I did make a really nice dinner or supper on Saturday. We have run out of... Okay, let me back up a little bit. Most of you probably know that every year we buy a hog from a friend of mine, and we have it processed and turned into ground pork, which I use like hamburger. I use it in everything. Well, we have 1 pound left, and we don't get our new hog until August. So we have about a month to 6 weeks that we were like, what are we going to do? Well, there's a local Amish store that sells frozen chicken in bulk. And in the past, we've bought from them. They sell it in 40-pound boxes. And it's usually boneless, skinless chicken breasts or boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And we buy it in bulk, thaw it out, and then grind it because we have a meat grinder. And so we're like, we need to do that. So that is one thing we did do while Scott was off. We went to this Amish store, got the chicken. It's down in the refrigerator now thawing. It takes forever to thaw. 40 pounds of chicken, it takes forever to thaw. But anyway, we're like, we need to make room in the freezer because we bought 2 boxes, so we bought 80 pounds. And we're going to grind up 40 pounds as soon as it thaws, and then thaw out the other 40 pounds and grind it up. But we didn't want to do 80 pounds. We didn't have room in our refrigerator, for one thing. But anyway, so I'm like, we need to make room in the freezer for this chicken. So we have 2 small chest freezers downstairs. Percy, leave that alone. One I had designated for vegetables, and the other one I had designated for meat. Well, back a few years ago, it was, I think, 2023, was the last time we raised meat chickens. And on processing day, we filled the meat freezer, and then we ran out of room. So we took the vegetable freezer and emptied out a space in the bottom and put the rest of the chicken in there. Well, over the time, that chicken had gotten covered with vegetables. I had processed a bunch of strawberries, I processed a bunch of corn, and it just got covered. And so when we were cleaning out the freezers, lo and behold, down in the bottom of that freezer, I found 6 of our home-raised, home-processed whole chickens. I was so excited. And they were not freezer burned. And they must have been packed down there so tight that air couldn't get to them or something. But anyway, for 4th of July, I cooked 2 of those chickens. They fit in my roaster pan. Two of them fit in there just beautifully. And so we had roast chicken. I made an Oriental coleslaw. I don't know if you've had that. It's got like you make a vinegar, sugar, oil dressing, and you put ramen noodle packets, the seasoning packets in it, and then in the slaw mix you put sunflower seeds and slivered almonds and crunched up raw ramen noodles. So I made a slaw, and then we had pierogies that I baked in the oven, and then I made a cake. If you remember back, I don't know, 2-3 months ago, I bought that 4th of July funfetti cake, red, white, and blue. And so I baked that, and I had planned on taking pictures, and I didn't take one single picture. Sorry. But anyway, it was just really, really nice. I still have a bunch of chicken in the refrigerator. We had chicken yesterday. Today I'm going to cook up the bones and the broth, and I'm going to make chicken and noodles for supper tonight. And yeah, so that's what we did for the 4th. Spent a few hours in the in the basement during the would you stop that? During the worst of the fireworks went down in the basement. But those people, I don't know who it was. Olivia stuck her head out the door and said it was like all around us. They were still shooting off fireworks at 1:30 in the morning. I was so aggravated because we had to get up for church the next day. I was dragging. I was really tired yesterday. But anyway, I understand the patriotism part of it, but like I said, I wish they would just do it on the 4th, and that's it. So anyway, yeah, that's how we spent our 4th of July. Hope you guys had a great day, great weekend. And so we are back to our normal schedule. For this video in particular, it's going to kind of be a decorate with me video. Originally, I had considered leaving all my 4th of July stuff up clear till fall. But honestly, I can't say that I'm like tired of it, because who gets tired of our flag? But I am ready to do something different in my dining room. I'm going to leave the stuff outside on my side deck. All of the red, white, and blue stuff, I'm going to leave that out there till fall. But in my dining room, I want to change it up to a new theme for the rest of the summer until fall. So probably, well, this is the 1st July, August, September. I'll probably start decorating for fall sometime in September, or late September. And so anyway, I want to do a summer berries theme. So let me turn this camera around and I'll show you what I have to work with, and we will get started decorating my dining room for summer. All right, this is everything I have to work with. Some of this stuff is new, some of this stuff I've had for a long time. This is the same flower arrangement I had in here before the 4th of July. Planning to keep that. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it on the table or in that arrangement, but planning on keeping that. This is a Pioneer Woman berry bowl that I've had for a long time. I've had it up on a shelf and it's very dusty, so I'm going to have to wash this. These strawberries I got from Hobby Lobby years ago. Those are also very dusty. I need to clean those. This is a candle that my sister made for her daughter's wedding, Lydia, and this was on the table as a centerpiece, and I got this as like a take home from the wedding, and I think it's appropriate for berries and strawberries and things. The color is nice, the vines and things on there, so I'm going to use that. This I got yard sailing, thrifting, I don't know, many years ago. I think this possibly was an Avon jar. I'm not really sure. It needs to be washed as well because it was down in my stash and it's kind of dirty. I got this strawberry candle, also yard sailing many years ago. It's been a while. I used to decorate with strawberries for summer, and it's been a while since I've done that. So I'm glad I kept those to pull it into this theme. This little figurine I got thrifting as well many years ago. I think it's just so sweet. Then as far as the new things go, I picked these up from Amazon. This came as a set. This came as a set, and then these came as a set. I will link these in the description box below if you're interested. I think the strawberries are okay. They look a little fake. They don't look quite as real as these, but they're okay. I mean, I don't mind those at all. I may put those up in my sconces. And then the raspberries are very realistic. I love those. And then I think these little blueberries are pretty realistic too. And then I also got this table runner. To be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed in it, only because the colors were more vibrant in the Amazon link. They're a little bit more muted than I was expecting, but that's okay. I'll work with it. I'll make it work. I think I'm going to keep this red and white stripe tablecloth on here. I have the blue and white one right here, but I think the red and white looks better than the blue and white. The blue is just a darker blue. It doesn't really match this very well. So I think I am going to stick with the red and white tablecloth. So yeah, that is everything I have to work with. Let me get the tripod set up. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get all the patriotic stuff taken down. I've got this tote for that, and then we'll get busy making it into a very nice summer display. So I have both of my trays here, the one that was on that chair in the corner and then the centerpiece. And I've got to decide what I want to do or how I want to decorate this stuff. I'm thinking about keeping the tea set because it is blue and white, which kind of goes with the berry theme, but changing it up just a little bit. And then as far as like my centerpiece goes, I'm not sure. I am not sure how I want to do this. I really kind of feel like I want to put the scale on the centerpiece with the berry. Oh, but that might be real tippy. Because I have to move the centerpiece off the table every night when we eat. Okay, let me think. Let me give this some thought and I'll be right back. I am kind of not sure what I want to do. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add some berries to this arrangement. I want to use some of these raspberries. So that looks cute. And these blueberries were actually 6 little tiny bundles. And I think I'm going to try to stick a couple of the blueberries, although they kind of blend in. So maybe I won't do that. Maybe I'll just use all of the raspberries in here. So I just have to decide how I want to do this. I thought originally I wanted to put the scale, see I kind of done a mock-up here, on the one that I move off the table a lot, but I really have to think about the ease of moving this. But I don't want it to actually like look the same as it always has, if you know what I mean. So let me play around with this a little bit more and then I'll bring you back. Okay, so I have been kind of playing around a little bit and I've come up with kind of a plan. I decided that the scale is just not going to work as part of my centerpiece. It's just too heavy. It makes the tray too heavy and a little bit bulky and a little bit wobbly, and because I do have to remove this off the table every night when we eat supper, it needs to be easy to move. And so I'm going to start off with just putting a doily here in the center, and I really love my floral arrangement with the raspberries in it. That was another reason why I wanted to not use the scale on here, because I just really like how this looks. So I'm going to put it here in the corner. I'm going to scoot this, I think I'll scoot it this way a little bit so that this base is on a flat surface so it's not wobbly. And then underneath the flower arrangement, I'm going to put my stack of books with my vintage items back on there. I just love, I'm just so enjoying this combination of things that I wanted to incorporate it in this arrangement as well. I got everything thrifting except for the pocket watch, and that was actually Scott's, and he did carry it for a long time, but now that we have cell phones, he doesn't need it anymore, so he hasn't carried it for years. And then also on this tray, I want to put my berry bowl, of course. It's like the pride and joy of this arrangement here. And then I want to put this adorable little figurine here. I think here. And that's as far as I've gotten for sure what I want to do on this tray. I do think I want to incorporate this ivy back in somehow and some of these blueberry picks, because I've got the strawberries, the raspberries, and now I need some of the blueberries on here. So let me play with this a little bit more, and then I'll bring you back, show you what I came up with. Okay, so this is how I have this centerpiece done, and I'm really liking it. I don't know if I'll tweak it anymore or not. I might. But I ended up just putting the ivy around the base of the vase. That rhymed. And then I just stuck a couple of the little blueberry stems right here in the corner. And I'm really liking how that's turning out. So now I'm going to go ahead and work on these sconces. As you all know, it's incredibly difficult to film those. So I'm just going to go ahead and do them off camera, and then I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like when I get done with them. All right, I went downstairs and I found some other things. I kind of forgot about this. This was down on the bookshelf. This would be perfect for on this display here. I decided, as you can see, not to use the blue and white dishes, and I'm going to put a white doily or an off-white doily on the scale. Let me get you set up on the tripod, and then we'll put this little arrangement together. So I'm going to put an off-white doily down here. I'm going to put the scale back on this side where I had it before. So it just fits there perfectly. And I'm going to put an off-white doily on the top. Let's see, what else am I going to do here? I brought these books up here, but honestly I don't know if they're gonna fit, if it's gonna work. Nope, too big. So we won't be using those books. I'm gonna put this little, put that up on the top. I've got this little berry baskets, hobnail milk glass, and I've got some foam here. I'm going to make a little arrangement in here with some faux greenery and the last 4 of the little blueberry picks. And I can't decide. I think I like that better down here. Put this up here. See, this doesn't have to get moved around. So I think that'll work. So let me go ahead and get this arrangement put together. Liking this. I think I'm going to go down and get some Spanish moss to stuff around the bottom of that so that you can't see that floral foam. But otherwise, I really like the way that's turning out, or it has turned out. I think, let's see here, I still want to use this candle. So let me kind of stick that back there, like that. I had this up on a shelf. I'm sorry, there's a glare. I'll get a better view of it later. But it's a summer egg with berries and birds, and I think that's perfect. And then I've got this strawberry put right there. I don't know, I might not have any place to put this berry. So put that there. I think I'm gonna try, there we go. That looks good up on there, like so. So I'm gonna try to get the last of these items like in layers. So I'm gonna put, or at different heights I should say, I'm gonna put this little dish here and tuck the candle back in there. So that it's up kind of high. And then I'm gonna stack these little butter pats over here, put this little egg with the flowers and the berries, and then this raspberry or strawberry on this little wooden thing right there. Let me see, do I like that? I'm not sure if I like that. Let me take the strawberry, because there's just too much white, I think. Put the bird up there. Oh yeah, I think I like that better, although there's two strawberries next to each other. I guess that's okay. Yeah, I guess that's okay. Yeah, so let me get this put back over on the chair, and then we'll kind of give you an overview of what I've done today. In these sconces, all I did was just take that bundle of strawberries, and just basically stuffed it down in the middle of there. And I obviously left the blue and the white flowers that were in there. And I just think it's simple, but it's really, really cute. I really like that a lot. Alright friends, this is where I'm going to go ahead and end this video for today. I hope you have enjoyed it. Just a little bit of a catch-up video. Decorate with me video. I am really, really happy with how this turned out. It turned out to be a little bit more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be, mainly because I didn't want the centerpieces to be like the same that they've always been, but I wanted to incorporate some of the same elements. So that created a little bit of a challenge, but I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. I'm happy that I was able to showcase my berry bowl from Pioneer Woman. I love how the raspberries just go so well in that vase right there. It just, oh, I love these raspberries. Those are my favorite of the 3 berry bunches that I bought off of Amazon. The raspberries are definitely my favorite. And I'm really happy with how this ended up turning out. I'm glad I chose not to use the blue and white dishes. I'm glad I remembered I had that little piece there, because it just is perfect. And as well as that little egg there. I didn't notice what was on it until I was putting my house hippo back up there, and I had that little egg sitting there, and I'm like, hey, it has berries on it. So it worked out perfect. Now, I do have a couple of vases up here that don't have any berries or anything in them. Maybe down the road I might order some more of these raspberries and stick them up like in the sconces with the strawberries, and then maybe up in those vases. But of course, that's not going to be in this video. And I might not. I might just decide it's good enough the way it is. I tend to go overboard sometimes, and I'm really enjoying the simplicity. I'm glad that I was able to use some of my pieces that I haven't used in a long time. And now that this runner is on the table, it's growing on me. I wish it was a little bit more vibrant, less muted, but hey, you know, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it turned out to be a good thing that it's more muted. It kind of takes like the back seat to my centerpiece, and so maybe it all worked out for the best. But anyway, friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll see you again on Friday with another brand new video. It will be a vlog style video, and I will give you an update on the gardens after the heat and all of the rain that we've been having. All right, friends, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.